It is very important because you can keep all the numbers in your memory location without having multiple variables. If arrays were not there, so what will happen? So if you don't have the arrays, what will happen? You have to have individual variables like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all as integers. So likewise, you have to have multiple variables to store these values. And then also you will have a problem how to access this using a loop. Loop එකකින් access කරන්න ගියාමත් ප්‍රශ්න. මොකද ABCD you can't go one by one. No? You can't go according to order. No? But arrays are named like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how array names are given. So then you can easily access using a for loop or while loop. 0 to 9, you can say, so this is array 0, 0th position. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, up to 9. You can go one by one using a number because loops work with number. Loops works with number. Loops work with number. Therefore, you can access one by one and access these elements. Now, the next thing is how to find out the total of this. So if you have another integer variable, same total. I think I have explained this earlier when we input 10 numbers and find out the total. I explained this. Then there's a bag and you are under apple tree. So you know that 10 apples are going to fall. You are with the bag, you are with the empty bag. So here total, you can say my bag is empty. Total is initially equal to 0, means my bag is empty. Then these apples are falling. So 0th apple is first falling. Then first apple, second apple, up to 9th apple. Altogether 10 apples are falling. So then you can catch these apples using this kind of code. You can say total equal existing total. That means you have the bag. To the existing bag, you catch the new apple. Right? To the existing bag, you are capturing the new apple. Total equal total plus marks. You are capturing the new one. And finally, you can print total is, finally you can print this, total is, then the total. Total is, then you can print the total. You are adding all the numbers. So you are adding that. So initially it's empty bag. But to this empty bag, you put one by one until the bag full. That means until all 10 apples. නැත්නම් numbers 10ම වැටෙනකම් numbers 10ම එනකම් total එකට ඒ number එක එකතු කරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා finally you can print the total. Now let me run the code by inputting some numbers. I'm going to input 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10 numbers. Now it says total is 55. After adding all 10 numbers, total is 55. So you can add some other numbers too, right? I just added 1 2 3, but you can give any integer value, right? You can add any integer value. Altogether 10 integer values are inserted, and you can see the output is 704. So likewise, you can calculate the total. So what I need you to think innovatively, but I'll only give 3 minutes this time, right? So try to find the maximum and minimum value. Try to find the maximum and minimum value using the same code. So, okay, let me ask small question. Okay, first look at this. Make it salama balana. Ita pasa mang eka hanang. Okay, let me ask the question now, right? So if there is only one number, can you tell me what is the maximum and what is the minimum? If there's only one number, eka number ekak tibba nan, can you tell me what is the maximum and what is the minimum?
Same number.
Same number, right? So I can apply the same theory here. If I want to find the maximum and minimum, if I want to find the largest number and smallest number, I can apply the same theory. I can tell that, okay, before going to this, so the largest number is the first number. If I had only one number, that is the largest. Mark 0 is the largest. The smallest number is marks 0. That is the smallest number. If I had one number, that is the largest and that is the smallest. If I had one number, that is the largest and that is the smallest. Right? But when there are newcomers, එකෙනෙක් හිටියනම් එයා තමයි largest සහ smallest, that is acceptable. But when there are newcomers, I have to check. Okay, when there are newcomers, I have to check. I have to use, because there are multiple statements, I have to use begin here and end here because there are multiple statements, right? If there's only one statement, no need to have begin and end. But if there are multiple, I have to have begin and end. Okay, if there are multiple statements like this, now I have to tell, okay, so I can ask if the marks, ith element is even more greater than the current largest number. If marks I is greater than the current large, then I have to tell largest number is that marks I. Marks I is the current large. Then else, again I have to tell if marks I is less than the smallest number, then again smallest කෙනාට අපිට small කෙනෙක් ආවොත්, smallest කෙනාට ඉන්න small කෙනාට අපිට small කෙනෙක් ආවොත්, that smallest number is the new smallest number. You have to tell that is this marks. Actually we have used this previously. Now you can apply this using the second loop. Total is anyway the newcomer is added to the total. If newcomer is greater than the current large will be the newcomer. The other hand, if newcomer is smaller than the current small, then it's not else actually. If newcomer is smaller than the current small, then small is the newcomer. So you have to tell all three conditions. First is newcomer is adding to the total. Second, newcomer with the check-in whether it's greater than the current largest. Then you have to change the current large number as the newcomer. If newcomer is smaller than the current small, then you have to give this. Finally, you can print the total. And finally, you can print the smallest and the largest. Smallest is, you can say smallest number. And largest is the large number ln. Okay, let me run the code and show you whether are we getting the output correctly. Type in some numbers. Okay, it's saying total is 569, smallest is 6. Correct, yeah, smallest is 6 and largest is 98. Largest is, yes, it's 98, correct. So I have to use right ln. I think this is more clear if I use right ln. So now it's printing, so it's adding, it's taking all the inputs, 10 inputs, finding the total, smallest and the largest. Okay, so now you have this code. Actually, it's like quite heavy code, but you can try this. When things become heavy, some people, they will discourage, but don't be discouraged. What you have to do, you have to try from the beginning, one by one. That's why I started from very beginning and then added few codes, then few more codes, even more codes. Now this is kind of bigger. But don't try this one. You have to try from the first one, then the second one. You have to watch the video again. When I upload this to Edmodo, please watch it again. Watch it again, and again. And redo these activities again and again. Then you can train yourself. So programming is none other than training, right? So we have some recent training courses, programming training courses. So we are having programming training courses, right? So what you have to do is please follow these training courses if possible. If possible, do that. That will be really good, because even so even the companies or large organizations like NASA, when hiring scientists, they consider about these coding skills. So coding skill is something special in this decade. So if you have coding skills, you are treated separately. So coding skills are required by the biologists. Coding skills are required by the scientists. Coding skills are required by the engineers and designers. Everyone need coding skills now. So that is like something so innovative in this decade. So please increase your capacity by increasing the coding skills. So coding is something interesting. In Word also, if you can use coding, you can do a lot of things. In Photoshop, if you can use coding, you can do a lot. In Maya, 3D Max, if you can do coding, you can do more. If networking, if you know coding, you can do more. Engineering, if you know coding, you can do more. Science or biology, if you know coding, you can reach great heights. So please enhance your coding skills. That is not just for ICT, right? Just Google it. Why coding skills are important. Why coding skills important, right? So in digital age, so it's vital to many organizations. In digital age, coding skill is vital for, it's very important for many organizations, not just for IT. Don't think that, okay, mama IT කරන්න නැතුව A level වල bio hari, science hari, commerce hari කරනවා then මට coding වල ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ කියලා. Don't think like that. But if this is digital age, so you need coding skills anyhow, in those areas also you need coding skills. One day you will need. You can see a lot of doctors are doing this now. Right? A lot of professional doctors are following software engineering courses. Why? So doctors can do their business without having this knowledge. But they are interested in writing their own code, creating software. Even they are interested in starting their own business using software field. So please check, right? Some doctors are into this field, IT field. They want to learn coding. Not everyone, right? Some, right? Only some. But this is really important, so practice this. Okay, you can try this now. I'll give you 5 minutes. Please try this. Let me, right? When you run this, so if you miss a semicolon here, right? If you miss a semicolon here, or colon or dot something here, when you run this, please send me with this one. So because it says the line error here, so main pass 6.5. 6.5 means line 6, something closer to 6.5. So the fifth character, so here one character is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here you can say line 5. So you'll get the error. Here semicolon expected but 4 found, means it's expecting semicolon but you found something. So then run it again. If it is fixed, no errors will be there, right? So let's say you got error here, missing semicolon. So it says, okay, when you run in this, okay, let me run. So now no errors actually, because it's one semicolon. So related to this 4. So you can omit one statement, that is allowed. So that will not generate an error, right? But let's say you miss somewhere here, or you just miss somewhere here, the colon is missing. When you run this, here you can see Line 13, some error. Line 13, you know the error is this colon is missing. Not initialize something, but it will mention the line, code line. So that's why I ask you to take a screenshot, include in the code line. So this one, compiler error. So then I can correct it quickly. Otherwise I have to check from the beginning, first line to last line. Okay. Let's discuss the remaining part, right? Okay. So now you know how to find this. So I was discussing about the last paper question, but so just wanted to give you some idea before start. So that's why we started like that. Now you know how to print the largest and smallest. So then, so I think you can remember the question. So it asks you to find the average. So average you can find like AVG. Let's make real data type for AVG, because when you divide, you will get a real number, decimal number. So let's make real, right? Then average you can find. So I asked you to find the average by dividing the large number and adding the large number. So we can find this by AVG equal ln plus the smallest number. I asked you to find out the average using this method and then divide this by 2. You can find the average. Then you can print the average if possible, you can print the average too. Average is the average. So after that, I ask you to print the numbers which are below the average or above the average, whatever. So you can print the numbers below the average or above the average. To do that, you can use again for loop. Going from 1 to 9. You can tell begin and end the for loop. So inside the for loop, you can tell, okay, if marks I is greater than the average, then you can print that, right? Okay, let's write marks I, ith mark. Okay, if I is greater than the average, let's write this. Okay, that is the simple modification that you can do to get that number. So let me run this now. Okay, let me run the code now. Okay, it will first, let me show the output. It will first ask the number, first number, second number, third number, fourth number, fifth number, sixth number, seventh number, eighth number, ninth number, and 10th number. You can give 10 numbers and it shows the total, and it also shows the smallest and the largest. So when you divide, the average of smallest and largest is 4.95 into 10 to the power 1, which is 49.5. And this will print all the numbers above 49.5, but you need to keep some space, right? You need to keep some space. Otherwise, you won't see the number clearly. Let me run this again. Let me run this for small numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So small numbers. You can find the total is 55. Smallest and largest, this one. The average is 5.5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are greater than the average. So this is how you need to apply this. Okay, now I think you can understand the code that I have sent to the group. I'll resend the code for you. You have to try this anyhow, right? Do all the corrections and give a try. I'm going to resend this to your group. I'll send you English medium group, right? And so whatever asking here in this section is basically, so let me go and see. Yes, this is about the arrays. Arrays, we learn how to define arrays. Array is something like this. Array is something like this. It is set of variable values starting from 0 to some number. So then we defined array from 0 to 9. We did the same thing. And so we learned that array accessing should be done, use square brackets with and the index. M0 is the first one. M is the array name, M0, mark 0, something. That is how you access the array. And then we learn, so here some example is given. Array 0 to 4 integer, then it will create num0, num1, likewise up to num4. And you can store, you can say num0 45, then 45 here. Num2 36, 36 come here. Num4 60, 60 come here to the num4. And num3 is num0 plus 2. 0 plus 2 is this one plus this one, and 81 it comes here. Right? This is how arrays are. And declaring values and how to print arrays, we learn these things. Right? Then the finding maximum and minimum, calculating the average and total. So that part we did. You can also try the code in the book. So next day we are going to learn about subprograms. Okay, for today I'll stop from here. Next day we are going to learn about subprograms and functions. Next day we can finish the class, finish the Pascal section. Okay, then till then, good night. I'll send the code. Please give a try. If you have errors, still you can send it to me. I'll correct it and send it back to you. Okay, then good night. See you on next week.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you.